Hey everyone, I hope you're all good. Today I'm doing a shot breakdown of this photo of a first dance that was actually made in this room whilst all the other lights were on. This is how it was done. So I'm making this video sometime after the day, so I don't really have much, I didn't collect any BTS video to show you from the day. So if you can just imagine for a sec, using this test image, the setup involves two speed lights on the corner of the dance floor pointing in towards the centre of the dance floor, both with these honeycomb modifiers on them, links below to that. And I'm planning on shooting towards this wall behind the band. You can see the lights on the wall make up a huge part of the final image. So as with all off-camera flash images, you need to follow that procedure of firstly setting your ambient exposure for the room in manual, and then turn on your flash trigger and set the powers of your flashes afterwards. If you want more help with off-camera flash, I have made another much more in-depth video on the procedure and how to sort of do it step by step. So please take a look at that. I'm not going to go through sort of the procedure every time I make an off-camera flash video because it's a bit of a waste of time, but do check it out. I'll leave the links below. You can see my flash locations here. The camera settings I used are shutter 160th of a second, f2.8 and ISO 400. The flashes were set to maximum zoom, and I mentioned that I've already mentioned that they've got a magnetic honeycomb grid on. You can control the spread of the light much more effectively, so there's much less, spill. The camera is a Canon 5D Mark III, and the lens is a 16 to 35 2.8 Mark III as well. The flashes are these Yongnuo 560 Mark IV and triggered by their trigger. I'll leave links below. I've mentioned before that after a bit of time and practice, you get much better at knowing what settings to set your camera to and powers to set your flashes on before taking any test shot. And this is a good example. I've set my flashes. I've set my camera to manual and made this test shot, and it's almost exactly where I want it already. The balance between the lights on the wall, the flashes, they're perfect, but it's just a tiny bit too dark. So I'm going to up my ISO to 400, and straight away, this was the first image I made of their first dance, and obviously there's loads more, but this is the one I'm going to talk about. So straight into Lightroom. Step 1, import preset applied, and next I'll crop in a little bit and straighten up so I can see exactly what I'm working with. Next I'll apply a little distortion to this so the lights appear dead straight across the top. Next I'm going to add an adjustment brush to perform quite a heavy burn of all the darker areas, and I can use the mask overlay to make sure that I don't miss any areas. I'll use a spot removal tool to remove the distractions, any of the little lights that need to be removed, and then I'm going to warm up the whole image and maybe give a slight magenta tint. I'm even going to return to this adjustment brush I used to burn the dark areas actually, and I'm going to use the auto mask tool to bring the darkness in nice and tight to the couple. They've both got quite a nice rim light on them, so this auto mask tool should work quite well on them. It's got a distinct border. You've got to be a bit careful not to get caught out by this tool because it can easily spill where you don't want it to, but if it does, then you can just press Alt and then remove what you've painted on already. Next I'm going to use another adjustment brush to brighten the couple a tiny bit, in particular the bride's face. And then the only thing to sort now is that light that's right between the couple, and the only way to get rid of this effectively is to open the image in Photoshop. There's a couple of ways to do this, but I think the quickest way is probably to just select the healing brush, click Alt, and select the part of the image you want to clone, then make sure it's on Replace, and paint out that light, making sure you don't use a hard brush, use something in the middle. And adjust the size of the brush constantly to get into the little gaps. Possibly even clone the arm as well to get rid of that glare on the skin. Then do the same for under the arm as well. And actually, as we're here, I'll have a quick look around to see if there's any other small blemishes I've missed. Click File, Save, and then that image will appear next to the other in Lightroom. You can see the difference between them here, with light, without, with, and without. I hope that's inspired you or helped you in some way. Remember, I have a much more in-depth video on off-camera flash. If you have any questions though, please let me know. And as always, thank you for your time and your support. See you again.